Well, hello and welcome people of the internet to some more NEODUEL backpack monsters. Let's just jump right into it. Not exactly sure what we're going to be building today, but it looks like maybe we're going the Machiro build. Machiro build is kind of, I'm calling it the Machiro build. It's not really like a Machiro build, but basically, Machiro, we can increase or decrease his cooldown by putting him next to a bunch of fire stuff. And if those fire things are flinters, we can apply a bunch of burn very quickly and basically just have a burn build. So maybe we give that a shot today. I think the game is telling me to do so. So let's go ahead and grab the other Machiro here, considering I would like to win my first battle. These first couple battles are kind of like the ones that you don't really want to lose. Just because, you know, you can kind of, once you get your build going here, obviously you can go up against some counter builds, but the early builds, I mean, it can be kind of a flip of the coin here. We just got lucky and had the better build going. So let's go ahead and get this down here, put Flinter up here, and start applying our burn. Gonna refresh one more time just in case we can find a fire essence. Perfect, get a little bit of extra cooldown there. And I think that's all. A little bit later, we might pick up Hour, but in the beginning, we're not getting a bunch of debuffs applied to us, so it's not really necessary. There's some cool things that we can do here with some synergies. Sugeko is kind of an interesting one. If we pick up a Harmonium, which can convert Flow into Burn, and especially since Machiros can attack so quickly, there's a potential that we have that going. Here though, if you have more Cosmions than your opponent, inflict 10 brittle. Don't really care about that because most of our damage is likely going to be coming from burn, assuming we're building a burn build. Don't really care about energy because Machiros use very little energy, and we don't really care about water, so we're just going to re-roll these. Gain 5 toughness is pretty nice. We could just gain coins right away, but I think this build tends to be a little bit more offensive. So there is an argument at taking the earth and armor rather than just going for coins, which I think I am going to do because we want to be this is, if you're thinking of it in terms of archetypes, this is very much going to be like a hyper offensive build, and we're not going to want to waste a bunch of space on like defensive items. We are going to definitely take things like Issue here, which I am going to take. It's going to give us a little bit of restoration here, although we're not applying a whole bunch of burn, but it'll be something. So having some, additional toughness up here in the upgrades is going to be beneficial for us. Gonna take the old Slimy here, so that way we can get a nice little cooldown, an extra cooldown reduction there. And we'll re-roll here, take the Stonky Stripe, and we'll put Slimy over here, grab this, lock in the Flinter, and get her going. Get her going real good. Unfortunately, we do have some kind of lower accuracy, so if I can find like a, oh boy, yeah, spikes and regen, that's going to do it for us. That's kind of tough to go around and get through, so let's go ahead and pop you in there. As far as right now, what do we have? Well, we can do this, we can do this, and we do need to find some more space. We do have that air essence that I was talking about to try and get a little bit of clarity to increase our accuracy up to 100%, because obviously if we're not hitting, we're not applying burn, and that is no bueno. I mentioned Sugeko. This is not the time to take it, though. And there we go. So there's a space. We can go ahead and move things around here. There we go. Get everything touching, getting our cooldown nice and good. Let's go. So you will hear that there's a voice in the background. So the game developers, in the final build of the game, there's going to be an announcer, kind of like a tournament announcer that's kind of commentating on your battle, if you will. Right now, even if you take a look at my settings here, my audio settings, you can see I have the speech volume all the way turned down. Even if you have it all the way up, it doesn't change the volume at all. This slider is not connected to the actual voice. The developers are aware of this. This is just kind of their latest patch they pushed out. They are going to be working on fixing it for the future, but in this current build, it's not, but just a heads up that will be changed. Okay, let's go ahead and grab the air essence here. It's 1 coin. It's going to help us hit a little bit more. Zythe is something that we could take, but again, I would prefer most of our damage is burn based, so I'm going to kind of save this, spend it on some rerolls. There's another Flinter here, which is perfect. We're going to go ahead change this up. Now, one thing I do want to do is to make sure that our burn is spread out. I don't think I mentioned it here, but I'm also going to grab another Machiro here for some more attacking. But one thing that can happen is if you have all your Flinters on one Machiro, If the Machiro misses, you miss all that burns. So having your burns spread out is going to be beneficial. Yeah, and regen is going to be tough for us to battle through. Hopefully we can get there. Oh, we got there just at the last second. Take a look at that burn damage. Hello. Man, 2 Dragoons are tough to go against, but yeah, they also had a little bit of regen there. You know what saved our butt? I can tell you what saved our butt. Toughness saved our butt. Thank you, Toughness. We appreciate you very much. All right, let's get that in here. We can go ahead and, for right now, let's see. So we move this down and move you up. Get you over here. I know I do have 3 right here, but once we get more inventory space, we'll move this around so that way we don't have all 3 burn just on one Machiro. Just like this. We can go ahead and shift this. Oh, and there's another Flinter, and there's another Issue. So go ahead and grab those next time. And we're going to go ahead and swap this. That way we have these spread out a little bit more. Pop this back down here to get the cooldown. Yeah, I figured we were going to lose this as soon as I saw the rung guy. Oh, we won! Oh my god, we're having these just like last second wins. Yeah, so see, only 93% accuracy. We got to get that up. So if I can get another air essence, turn it into a rare, or even if we can find an epic air essence, that'll fix our accuracy problems. But you can see here only 1.79 cooldown, and that's 1.92 is more reasonable, but it's because we have this fire slimy here. So if we can get a few more fire slimies, we can target the back ends of these Machiros. We can get the Flinters here targeting the front ends, or actually I guess it doesn't matter, but yeah, very close duel there. Very happy to win that one. As for our second upgrade here, we're not doing anything at Nature Cosmion. We also are not stacking a bunch of clarity, and we don't need energy, so we're going to re-roll this. We gain 5 spike for a little bit of extra damage. Common and rare Cosmions gain 4 damage. That's actually going to be beneficial because our Machiro are common. So bringing our minimum damage to 7 to 10 damage is not nothing. Cosmions deal more damage according to your opponent's missing health. 1 to 40%, capped at 40%. However, if we take a look at this, 40% max, let's just round up and say 50%. You're going from 3.0 to 4.5 and 6 to 9. So you're going to 4.5 to 9 versus with this, you're going to 7 to 10. So we're going to take Tiny Army. So Blaze Roll is really pretty solid. We do have the issue in the Flinter. So let's go ahead and move this. We're going to grab Flinter here. And we're also going to grab Issue. Going to lock in the Blaze Roll, because if I can find another 2x2, I definitely want to pick up the Blaze Roll. Okay, so we do have a long zone, so we'll go ahead and grab that. I think we can possibly make that work, but I definitely want to pick up the Blaze Roll. That's a lot of burn that we could potentially apply. Double Rune Guy. We're going to lose this one. Potentially? Wow, okay, that was a surprise to me. I definitely conceded that one. I was sure we were going to lose there. Okay, so what can we make this work? Can we make this work? Let me think here. If we move this up, I can't put this down here because I can put it down here, but that doesn't help me at all here. 3, 4 up here. That unfortunately puts a Flinter here, but it doesn't do anything. Oh, wait, hold up. We can do this, which targets those. This down here. Then if I move... No, not a Flinter. I want to move this over here for now, this over here, which targets all those. We're good here. That can spin, target that. You go over here, and hey, we're touching. Now, it's not perfect. We will eventually, obviously, move Blaze Roll so that way we can have every link activated. But for right now, we're good. Not going to go for another Machiro here. Obviously, we're looking for space. There's the space. Fantastic. Going to put that... Let's see here. Let's see. It's the best place to put this. Actually, well, it's not necessarily there. Because I don't want Blaze Roll... actually, I think it's fine. If we put Blaze Roll down here, touch both of those, put you over here, you here, you here. You have that maxed out? Okay, we can take that. We do have another Flinter here. So we're going to lock that in because I can put a Flinter touching one of these. I could put this Slimy like down here, for example. Although that's just doing damage, so maybe we don't want Flinter. No, I'm going to lock in the Flinter. There's cooldown reduction and shield. Or we have Fire Essence. Fire Essence would just be good if we find another Slimy. I'm going to grab that here. It's one more burn. I'm going to lock in the Flinter just in case we need it. But at this point, I feel like I need something a bit more powerful. We do have another issue. We're applying a lot of burn. So we have a little bit of shield here. Do I want to spend 6 on another issue? I think I do. The question is, do I want another Flinter? I think I also do. Trying to think, where can I put this? I can put it over here. There's another Blaze Roll, and there's the Harmonian, which we could potentially make work, but I think Blaze Roll is just better because then we don't need to fill a bunch of space with Sugekos. And there's the Slimy as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's rearrange a little bit. Let's grab Slimy, put you up here. We're going to combine you with that. Issue, put you in here. You're more important, I think, than the Air Essence. We're locking Blaze Roll, and we're looking for space. Perfect. Let's go ahead and jump into the next fight. Okay, we got a regen build. This is going to be tough. And regen with spikes. Very poor combination for us. However, if we can apply enough burn, gain enough life with the Issue. How much life did we actually gain with Issue? Wow. Okay. Not bad at all. Okay. So Issue is going to be very good for us because we're applying a bunch of burn here. And of course, we're applying a bunch of burn here with Blaze Roll as well. So that's also going to be beneficial for us. Now, let's see here. We can do this. This Machiro isn't currently applying any burn, which is kind of a downside. I would like this to target one of these two. But we will figure that out in a second. This Blaze Roll can go up here. There's the Epic Air Essence that I was looking for. So let's go ahead and get that. So now we have 100% accuracy. We have a regular Fire Essence that I don't think I need. We're also only getting that little bit of extra for Stonk Stripes. We can go ahead and get rid of this. Lock that in. Are we going for Kindlepaw? I think we are. We're applying a bunch of debuffs, so I'm going to lock in the Kindlepaw. We played with the legendary version of Kindlepaw back in the first video, and Kindlepaw will apply debuffs, but also increase the damage that they're doing based on how many debuffs we apply. And once we get that in, we'll take out the Fire Mira. But yeah, I think we have enough time that we definitely want to work on building this. So now we're looking for rare and epic Fire Essence. Very nice. I was a little bit worried about that. Anytime I see a Rungan, I'm a little bit worried. Each win gives additional 5 coins, boost your energy generation, or if you have less Cosmions than your opponent, gain 10 toughness. The win is nice. The question is, what else could we find? There is an upgrade that allows us to get, it's I think pretty rare, but it would give us the unique Fire Legendary that increases the speed of our burn damage, which would be kind of nice to get. I guess the question is, how beneficial is an additional 25 coins, assuming we're going to the end? 25 coins is pretty nice, but is it worth re-rolling? I think it is. I think our economy is pretty good. I take that back. Take that back wholeheartedly. Well, that's the risk you take behind opening door number 2. Well, we can take Flowmaster. There's always a chance that we could make that work with if we see another Harmonian. We're definitely taking another Issue because we've seen how powerful those are. We're obviously taking a Rare Essence so that we can combine those two. Let's take some more space here. We're very likely going to put the Kindlepaw and the Pyrophore and the finally, I don't remember what the last evolution is, but we're going to put it in that to help out our energy generation. I'm not going to spend the last reroll, or actually, I will. It's one extra reroll. Boom. Let's go. All right, shock build is going to be tough considering all our debuffs we really need to be applying with attacks. However, with double blaze roll, that's definitely going to help us out, get a bunch of shield. How good are they doing for our shield? Not too bad. You know, obviously we're missing out on a couple percentage points here on this blaze roll. But issue is really just helping us out quite a bit there. I mean, look at all the damage our burn is doing, just crazy amounts of damage. Okay, so there is our Pyrophore. So let's see, so we can move this, do a little bit of this going, put that there, put this down here. So we need to get now an epic fire essence to combine those. Hopefully we can find that pretty soon. This is a perfect spot for this. We have Igni and Manu here that we can decrease the cooldowns, which is, do we need that? We have a bunch of shield coming from here. That's an additional 40 shield, which could be beneficial. Sure. We got a pretty decent spot for the space up here. Do I want to save that? Yep, let's do that. Start the duel. Probably should have rerolled one more time, actually, to find another rare essence. That probably would have been beneficial. There we go. Win the duel, and let's go. So, actually, I'm just going to fill out a bunch of our space here. Going to put that over there. We do have an hour. I am going to grab an hour just in case we run into another debuff build to kind of fire it back at them. There's another regular fire essence. Do I need that? I guess I will grab it just in case we find... Yeah, then that happens. Then we also have a Demon Core. Definitely locking this in now, especially since we're playing around with Pyrophore. Getting a bunch of debuffs is going to increase their damage quite a bit, so we're going to lock that in and definitely play with it. And then, of course, Demon Core is obviously just very powerful. Wow, 4 Rungai. I'm terrified. Yep, I figured that was going to happen. Rungai is a powerhouse. Look at all that damage. Just absurd. Especially with they have very, very low cooldowns. It's just, and this one doesn't even cost anything to attack. Yeah, Rungai, if you can build around it, is very, very powerful. And they have Siphon. Jesus, yeah, there was just no way we're getting through that. Alrighty here. So we can go ahead and make our Cinder Jaw. Let's go ahead and grab this. So where are we going to put this? How are we going to make this work? Actually, that's a very convenient spot. Look at that. Got that maxed out already. Fantastic. Don't need another Machiro. Igni and Manu, we could go ahead and grab for a little bit extra shield. But I don't really have like an all super great place to put it. So I think we might just pass up on it. Go ahead and fill out the rest of that. Go ahead and combine that into a rare, and might as well go. Yeah, one more reroll. See if there's anything there. Look at all those debuffs. I think we're still gonna lose. I think we're still gonna lose. Oh boy, that was rough. Yeah, spike damage plus the healing is just gonna be pretty rough. Where do we take? Do they have the one? Yeah, they have Corrosive Acid. Corrosive Acid's always going to be tough to beat. Makes sense. Makes sense. And our accuracy was just very poor. I mean, 61%, so we're just not applying, burn as much as we should. That's a tough one to go against. But here is Cinderjaw in for gain 1 extra damage per 1 debuff on the opponent. All right, so let's go ahead and reorganize a little bit here around that buddy right there. You have to reorg. There we go. You got a link to fire though. Yep, got to take out the Machiro. You're not really doing anything for us. There we go. Got that maxed out. Not really what we want to be doing. Obviously, there's a lot of restoration there, but overall, I mean, it's pretty short cooldown. I'd rather just have, like, more issues. Grab this just for a little bit more accuracy. There's an issue. Great, we'll take that. Ifri. Interesting. So, Ifri and its evolution, I have kind of... I mean, we're definitely going to take... Oh, I could just take a blaze roll. Hang on here. Hang on. We're not getting anything out of this right now. What happens if I move over here? We can do that. Do that. You just need to link to anything, so we can do that. Make that work. Because I could put blaze roll up here. I could put it over here. Yeah, let's do that. We can put you up here. Sweet. Just get a bunch more shield. I need one thing to put in here, which would be the Ifri. Is there anything else that I can move over there? Yes, I can move you down here to get that activation chance as high as possible. Nice. Our energy usage is a little high, so I think now's the time I'm going to remove the Fire Mirror to make sure Cinderjaw can attack as many times as possible. You only sell for 3, so we can't buy anything with you. Okay, we're doing just fine. Let's go ahead and lock in the next fight. Fingers crossed. We're going against the Run guy. Oh boy. Stun build, here we go. Cinderjaw, can you make it happen? Oh boy! Okay, we did it. I knew we were going to do it. Yeah, I knew it was going to happen. Look at that Cinderjaw damage. Run guy, Jesus. Oh my god, this thing is a nightmare. Hate going against this thing. Okay, so there's the Ifri that we're going to grab. Ifri, there we go. Lock that in. We can get rid of you. Durangutan, not too bad. Gets some restoration in there. Also, inflict lava burn, which is going to decrease the opponent's healing effectiveness. Every time it triggers, we get additional shield, and for every link, we're also going to get some additional shield. So we're going to be playing a little bit more defensively here. Now, that being the case, let's see. If we do this, we get a little bit more shield. If we do this, we could potentially get a lot more shield. And then we could put Ifri over here. We're losing out a little bit there. So what happens if we move our? And we do... No, we're not really taking full benefit of him up over here. What if we do this? Yeah, this is better. This is better. Not there though. We do that. We do this. We do this. Nice, full on. Now, obviously, I would like to... I think I might actually over... I was wondering if I should put Fire Slimy over here. I think this is fine, though. So we're getting, what, initial 45 shield? It's not bad. That's not bad. Could get another issue as well. I'm going to lock in the issue for more regen. Because at this point, like, we apply a lot of burn, but we need to get there, so... I don't know. Is that the best thing to do is get issues? We have a bunch of defenses from the shielding as well. Yeah, we got to go against Corrosive Shield. That was like the worst case scenario. Obviously, we're really hurting here because we could have had a bunch more coins to work with. Like, this Flowmaster is just awful for us. Just absolutely horrible. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. This Corrosive was just going to completely counter what we were literally just trying to do with Durangutan. Okay, we got 3 more fights to go. Let's get into it. Let's get that other issue going. Demon Core, definitely going to make this work somewhere. Let's see here. Where can we make this work? Perfect. Issue. There we go. Get the cooldown reduction on Cinderjaw since you're doing a bunch of damage there. Huh. So we could do another Ifri. Increase the burn. Oh boy, we got a swarm build. Okay, the game just completely lagged out. I don't know if you're going to see that on your end, but on my end, that played at about 2 frames a second, and I can guarantee you that's not on my computer's end. So, Oh, good God. I don't think we're going for another blaze roll, but we definitely could. Yeah, I just don't think I'm going to be working that hard to fit that in. Let's see here. What else can we do? We could get some more restoration. I guess the question is, every 2 seconds do we want to restore 4, well, yeah, 4 health? I don't think that's going to be enough. Might as well grab it, though. We can just slot it in. Why not? Every little bit of health could end up mattering. We're just being told to play with the blaze roll, though, aren't we? Aren't we? I definitely didn't want to do that. Okay, so I think we can get rid of the tiger at this point. So let's do that, which forces that, does that. Nice. Flinter here. Where can we put Flinter? Flinter. We could just take out this Igni and Magnu. I mean, no, because I want to get that cooldown reduction. Where else does it go, though? Where else does it go? I'm looking around to see where else I can put it. I wish this is specifically said, like, trigger when you get hit. Because that would be absurd. That would be so good. Am I just gonna leave this out? I mean, how much burn are we applying? We're applying a decent amount of burn, but I want to apply more burn, is the thing. I don't want to be leaving burn on the table. I think I might just have to, though. Because otherwise I'm going to be sitting here trying to do this math, and it's just not going to work. The math is not going to be mathing. Omnicore and Demon Core. Alright. You sold me. We're going to try and make that work out. Let's hope we can win this. Let's hope we can win this. Oh boy. Rungai. Rungai, what are you doing to me, buddy? What are you doing to me? Unfortunate. Tournament over. Just coming up shy. Let's see how much damage the Rungai smacked us for. Good lord, dude. These things are busted in half. This is easily the best dragon. It's not even close. Compared to Hushan, it's just like not even close. This thing is absurdly powerful. There are obviously other dragons, but this one is just, I think this one probably needs a nerf. It's just I think based on how powerful I see the other dragons being, I think Hushan is the hardest one to determine how good it is, because its damage is going to be seen in burn and not in damage. But I never see any of the other dragons anywhere close to this amount of damage. So yeah, Rungai, you might be in there for a bit of a nerf, but that might be in the future for it. Oh, you have 100% crit rate. Good lord. Yeah, that's okay. That's where most of the damage was coming from, is from that crit rate. Jesus. Yeah, unfortunate. I think if we could have lasted maybe one more fight, we had a shot. But man, this crit Rungai build is just really tough to go against. What about, yeah, I mean, we had really decent healing here. We had decent shields going on. But yeah, just not... Oh, you have 2 Durangutans too. Yeah, that's going to be also tough to go against. So our healing effectiveness was a bit lower. Yeah, just overall, I mean, overall, very, very strong build. Electric, overall, based on what I've been playing, Electric is very likely the strongest element in the game. Every time I've kind of been blown out, it's just always been by Electric. Air, I think right now is probably the weakest. Probably, if you're looking at overall damage, I think that... let's go ahead and go to the main menu here to kind of chat about it. I think that... Let's see. So what do we have? We have electric, air, fire, water. Is that it? Fire, water, air, electric. What is the other one that I'm missing? Let's go to the Codex. When all else fails. Oh, they updated the look of this. Okay, we have neutral, fire, electric, air. Oh, no, I caught nature. Oh, there's ice. I'm going to be honest, I don't think ice is a part of the meta right now at all. I mean, I'm saying meta very loosely because there really is no meta. It's a lot of just like early testers, but I guess you could technically consider there is meta. I think that overall, in terms of power, I think electric right now is definitely the strongest element. Just in terms of my own builds, how I've seen power, this run guy is just absurd. Voltrex is also very strong. Just the fact that you have so much energy manipulation in electric, and again, Rungai is a very powerful part of why it's so good. I mean, for every 1 energy regenerated, gain 1 damage. Like, this thing is absurd. You just get a crazy amount of energy regeneration and just go absolutely bonkers with this thing, if you can get it, of course. So yeah, I think electric is the strongest. Second strongest is honestly probably nature type. I think once you start building like HP regen, you start building a defensive build with HP regen and spikes, and I think you have the makings of a very powerful build. It gets around things like fog, it gets around things like electrocute, and overall it's just very, very strong. I do think that this is, so for example, for every 20 generate every 20 shield you generate, gain an extra damage. Like that compared to this, upon every hit, gain damage equal to your energy regeneration amount. And your energy regeneration amount starts at 2, right? So you have to gain 20 shield here. You have to gain 40 shield to gain 2 damage. Whereas here, you literally just have to do nothing and you gain the same 2 damage. So if you're getting extra energy regeneration, it's just going to spike up, and I just don't think it's like, in my opinion, I think it's too strong, comparatively speaking. But I do think that nature is the second strongest type, followed probably by, I guess it depends on the build. Fire is a little bit mixed build right now, because you have a couple different builds here you could go. So you could go the burn strategy, right, with something like Cinderjaw. Again, Hushan is deal 25% of stacks as damage. So think about that, right? Even at our end of the build, we were still only applying about 100 to 120, let's say 125, or actually let's say 120 because it's a better number to divide by 4, burn. So we're only dealing about 25 to, what is that, 30? 25 to 30 damage with Hushan, and we were very consistently seeing this up in like the 8, not this one, the run guy here around the like 80 damage mark. So yeah, I think that overall Hushan is just not even close to his power. Look at 3.5 second trigger. What is your trigger? 1, or your energy usage 1, 2 second cooldown? Yeah, I don't think those are balanced even remotely close to each other. Oh, this is a Blaze Duck. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen Blaze Duck. But yeah, so you have a little bit of a burn debuff build. You also have a more combat-oriented build around, like, where is he? This guy, Fire Fist, where you want to be consuming your burn as opposed to dealing damage with your burn. And you can kind of use, like, Yogan there. So there's a little bit of, like, these two legendaries going more towards the burn, the debuff version, whereas Yogan and Fire Fist, although he's not legendary, are a little bit more towards the combat build. I think, let's see. So yeah, water is probably stronger than burn, or stronger than fire, I think. Tidal Grasp is very strong. Aqualith is also incredibly strong. These two, Leviathan, something like that, very powerful. And Serenius is also very powerful if you can make it work. Obviously, you need a lot of energy to make it work, but if you do, it is very strong. And then this thing can just take over games. I did have a flood video, or a flow video, come out a couple videos ago. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. That was a very powerful flow build around Leviathan. Very strong. And then lastly, followed up here, I think air overall is the weakest of the elements. If you can get it going, it's very powerful. The downside with it is, for one, a lot of your air builds are going to be specifically around attackers as opposed to, you know, more caster based damage. So for example, like Tidal Grasp here doesn't use any energy to trigger damage. A lot of your air attackers are going to be using energy. So you can see your Gale Wing, one of your better attackers. You have Volcrus using 4 energy. You have Air Dragon using energy. Obviously, Adigius doesn't, but those are kind of like your main air attackers that you're going to be using, unless you're doing a swarm build around like Plin and Klinko or Kriko, because they use so low energy, and if you pair them with an air element, they're not going to consume any energy. You also have like a Hakista build, but I mean, it's down here with the air element, but it's not really an air type. It's an anything type. It's really a slime build. But overall, I found so far that air is the hardest to get off the ground and going, and it's just kind of weak against a couple different elements, right? It's weak against the fog builds. It's weak against electrocute builds because you're attacking so often. It's weak against thorn regenerate. So overall, yeah, I think that is the weakest element. I have yet to play with ice. I think the issue with ice I found is it's just well, not that it's really a big deal, right? But basically you're using different elements with water and air. So for example, Cryo Sugeko is just a regular Sugeko fused with an air element. SWAT is just Cecil fused with an air element. Same thing with Nicola Zero. I haven't seen like anybody playing with this yet, so I don't know how good it is. I'll probably have to experiment in the future. Oh yeah, Fire does have Molten Punch. That's the other legendary that I was looking for in combination with Yogin. Is the Fusion map up yet? Okay, so this still isn't up yet, but yeah, that's kind of overall how I'm oh yeah, and then Rogue Duck is just above everything. Rogue Duck is just absurdly strong. I've never beaten a Rogue Duck. It's just very powerful. It's probably the hardest build to get going though. There is an upgrade you can take that gives you 3 Ducks, and if you get that, especially at the start, I would definitely look at building a Rogue Duck. But even if you find it, it's just very likely that you should probably build a Rogue Duck. It's just kind of the hardest one to fuse because you need not only 5 Ducks, but you also need slime elementals of every type in order to get there, because you have to have Ducks of every different type. But if you can get it going, very powerful. So yeah, unfortunately didn't get a win there, but I do think that the build is overall good enough to show today. You know, not every time I play this game we're going to get wins, but we got very close there, and I think overall the build is good enough to kind of show you guys, especially these early builds before the game comes out. And one more thing I want to show here, because I haven't showed it in any of the other videos yet, there is a roadmap. So if you're wondering what else is going to be coming to the game, we can take a look at this really quickly. So ice update. In this version, there's already new ice update. So I don't know, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if this ice update is what's already included in the game, or if there's going to be an additional ice update that comes in 1.0. Because if we look at the build here, it does say version 1.0, and we're in version 0.9.81. So I'm guessing that this is actually an future update that's going to be coming out when the game comes out, and there's going to be new Cosmions and new upgrades, but don't hold me to that. I'm just assuming based on the version. There's going to be a lava update, which is pretty cool. Not sure. Fire meets with nature. There you go. I was just going to say, I don't know what you need to combine, but there's going to be a lava update, a swamp update combining water with nature, and a storm update, electric with air. So that will be interesting, although electric and air is already very powerful, so not really expecting this to be anything other than very powerful. What would be the best one? Probably lava, I think, will be the most interesting one to see if nature can pull up fire a little bit in terms of viability. I mean, fire is very powerful. I just think that there's a lot of builds that kind of counter it right now. Nature being probably one of the better ones at countering. I mean, electric just kind of counters everything. It's very good. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around through my rantings and ramblings here of NEODUEL Backpack Monsters. Again, I don't remember if the game is going to be out by the time this one comes out, but if it is, you can check it out in the link below in the description. As always, definitely a cool one to check out. That's going to do it for this one, guys. If you did like the video, would you kindly smash the like button and subscribe to the channel for more roguelike action just like this? Although I guess it's kind of, yeah, it's a roguelike, whatever. Guys, I've been Ganyonz. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next time.